It is part of the state's program to send migrants to sanctuary destinations, a statement says. This appears to be an escalation of a tactic which has seen Republican states send migrants to Democratic areas. Martha's Vineyard, in Massachusetts, is a resort and traditional summer destination for Hollywood stars. The island, with its population of around 20,000, was famously used as the location for the 1975 Steven Spielberg classic Jaws. Former President Barack Obama is among those who have holiday homes in the area. Florida can confirm the 2 planes with illegal immigrants that arrived in Martha's Vineyard today were part of the state's relocation program to transport illegal immigrants to sanctuary destinations, Governor DeSantis's communications director Taryn Fenske said in a statement. The migrants, including children, arrived at about 11 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time on Wednesday without any warning, according to Massachusetts State Senator Julian Cyr, who represents Martha's Vineyard. Officials and volunteers then moved heaven and earth to set up the response like we would do in the event of a hurricane, he said. Migrants were given food and clothing, as well as being tested for COVID. Many did not know where they were, according to Massachusetts State Representative Dylan Fernandez. They had been told they would be given housing and jobs, he said. On Twitter, Mr. Fernandez described the move as an evil and inhumane plot to use human lives, men, women and children, as political pawns. States such as Texas and Arizona, on the U.S. border, have sent thousands of migrants to cities like Chicago, New York and Washington, D.C., which they accuse of encouraging migration by failing to fully enforce immigration laws. On Thursday, just a day after the migrants arrived in Martha's Vineyard, 2 busloads of migrants from Texas, reportedly totaling between 75 and 100 people, were dropped off near Vice President Kamala Harris's residence in Washington, D.C. Footage shown on Fox News showed 2 buses arriving near the residence and migrants, who were mostly from Venezuela, gathering their belongings and standing nearby. A non-governmental organization later came and reportedly transported them to a nearby church. Harris claims our border is secure and denies the crisis, Texas Governor Greg Abbott later wrote on Twitter. We're sending migrants to her backyard to call on the Biden administration to do its job and secure the border. Places like Massachusetts, New York, and California will better care for migrants, Taryn Fenske, Ron DeSantis's communications director, said in a statement. Christina Pushaw, a spokesperson for Mr. DeSantis' re-election campaign, said Martha's Vineyard should be thrilled. They vote for sanctuary cities. They get a sanctuary city of their own. And illegal aliens will increase the town's diversity, which is strength. Right. So-called sanctuary cities are cities that have policies to aid undocumented immigrants. Alexander Kuick, an immigration lawyer and the director of the Immigration Clinic at Case Western Reserve University's School of Law, said that while he believes efforts to relocate migrants in this way will be legally challenged, it is still unclear what, if any, laws may have been broken. The big question is what they are being told, and if there is any sort of fraud or inducement, he told the BBC. But how would anyone know if there's nothing in writing? It could be that the migrants are willingly saying they'll go if there are jobs and opportunities. Mr. Kuick added that authorities in Texas and Florida are likely to argue they are doing the same thing as the government, which regularly moves detained migrants around the country. Governor Ron DeSantis has previously cited Martha's Vineyard as a possible destination for migrants being sent out of his state, telling reporters last year that if they were, the border would be secure the next day. This year, Florida representatives set aside $12 million, £10.4 million, for transporting migrants. The Republican, a fierce opponent to mask and vaccine mandates during the pandemic, was first elected in 2018 and has since become one of the most admired governors in the country among the party faithful. He is widely seen by Republicans as a natural successor to former President Donald Trump, who also railed against sanctuary cities, at one point saying he planned to free immigration detainees in those areas. It is unclear how many migrants Florida plans to send to other states. The BBC has reached out to Governor DeSantis' office for comment.